Well, usually when I go work out, like in the middle of it, the squirrel shows up and sits and watches me.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's a pretty normal thing. He does that.
This is actually the first time I'm hearing this. You have a voyeuristic squirrel watching you? How does it watch you?
Well, he just sits and watches while he like chews on his nuts.
I'm sorry, on whose nuts?
On D's nuts.
Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrible Opinions podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Kenny.
I might be a werewolf, Daniel.
I'm your friendly neighborhood phantom, Ryan.
And this week we are bringing you the fantastic, no one better have a bad thing to say about movie Werewolves Within from 2021, written by Mishna Wolf, directed by Josh Rubin.
Don't forget, it's based on a game that no one's heard of or played.
Based on an Ubisoft game that is based off the party game Werewolves Within. And we are excited to get into it because I think Daniel and I would both say this is probably one of our favorite recent-ish movies that we have just now thrust upon Ryan. And he better...
Ow!
he better not say anything we disagree with.
Would you say I would be, like, cast out of the village?
Yes, you would be.
Like in the game Werewolf.
Yeah, bodies, bodies, bodies.
But with teeth.
With teeth. And...
Lee Pace in this?
Okay, I hope everyone grabbed their sandwiches and grabbed their snowshoes, and we trek up to a beautiful manch in the mountains for our wonderful journey within the world of Werewolves Within.
Manch means mansion, Daniel.
I don't know, would you call that a mansion?
I wrote down mansion in my notes.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's in my notes too. Sweet manch.
Well, shit. You know what? It's in mine now, too.
Werewolves Within. Like we said, based off an Ubisoft game, which is based off a party game. I think there was a card game
Which
called
is
Werewolves.
based off of the real-life events of werewolves sneaking into towns and causing mischief and distrust back in the olden times when you could get away with that.
Well, yeah, and when you can get away with calling someone a werewolf and just murdering them.
I didn't know this was based on a game until after I finished it.
Yeah. No, it might be, if you want to say it's more based off that game, one of the best video game adaptations ever.
I would say it's probably the top 5.
That's safe.
Well, I was thinking about it, I was like, where do I put Mortal Kombat? Obviously, Mortal Kombat's up there, but Last of Us is... So...
That's fair. Who wants to give me the synopsis here, boys?
Oh, I'll do it.
Hit me.
Ranger Finn has been transferred to a new location because he went fishing without a permit, and that's apparently a big deal, and he gets moved across somewhere. Moved from somewhere.
Did you just make that up?
No, but he fucked it up.
Why? What happened?
The fishing without a
He wasn't
permit?
fishing without the permit. He let 4 guys fish without a permit, and then they filmed it and posted it online. He wasn't fishing without a permit.
He let 4 of his friends convince him to go fishing there, and he didn't have a permit for it.
No, he's a ranger. He doesn't need a permit. They didn't have the permits. There's no way a ranger doesn't have a fishing permit.
I've watched this several times, and I've never caught any of this.
You didn't know why he was transferred there?
I thought he just transferred himself to get away from the girlfriend, but that doesn't make sense because he doesn't want to get away from the girlfriend.
Balls.
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 Balls. Balls.
Oh my
Balls.
goodness. You're skipping ahead. So he goes to this wintry,
A little bit, smidge.
wintry, very small, wintry place. Handful of characters, handful of houses. To be the new ranger, he meets a wacky cast of individuals, and then somebody sees a monster, generators get slashed, and is there a werewolf? Is it one of us? Who was the monster all along? These questions will be answered. Is it a Wendigo? What's a Wendigo?
It is not a Wendigo.
When I saw this...
Not one of those!
I'm not one of those! Maybe I'm a werewolf.
Maybe I'm a werewolf.
You're all werewolves.
Maybe I'm a part-time werewolf. I put the knives in my hand. Maybe I'm a werewolf. You're a werewolf. Who knows?
When I saw this, when I watched the trailer for this, my first reaction was that, oh no.
Oh, wait, I've seen the trailer.
This is going to be another Hellblazers.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
so
I
wrong.
remember
I
seeing
went,
the trailer
oh
and thinking
no.
that this was going to be good.
Yes, but then we watched Hellblazers.
I'm surprised you'd even seen it.
And
it wasn't.
And it wasn't great. It was...
That's because They barely had enough good footage in Hellblazers to make a trailer.
Isolated location, small town, and then shit's happening. I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Now, for context here, normally when we watch something for the podcast, at most, it's usually maybe one of us has seen the thing beforehand, and it's pretty fresh for the other two. This is one that I sprung on Daniel probably pretty close to when it came out in 2021, and I've probably watched this a dozen times at least.
Yup.
Daniel's watched it at least 2 or 3 times.
Yup.
We are big fans of this movie, so we are going to champion this the whole time. Ryan, on the other hand, just got to experience it, so this is a fresh new babe coming into, the woods here. And
I'm a little baby lamb coming all out. Here we go.
So he took notes. Daniel and I just kind of rewatched and we're along for the ride again, so we're going to let him kind of guide this a little bit. Yeah, that's the setup. The opening, we get a middle-aged man out in the wilderness waiting for someone to show up.
I gave you a pre-watch or a question for this movie. What question did I give you?
You asked me if this would be a movie that we would be quoting.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, 100%. I quote this all the fucking time.
Great. Now I'll get the references when you do.
Yeah, she had too much soda. She's real proud of it.
Daniel, what question did I give you for this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, God, give me a second.
So I got asked who would do the soundtrack to this movie based on the trailer alone, and I'm gonna go with Yoko Kanno.
Sure.
Classic Yoko.
Okay. Now to the people who don't know who that is.
It kind of looks like
us.
Kenny doesn't know. I know.
Us. Oh, okay.
Kenny, you're gonna know who this is. You don't know that you know, but you know because you have seen Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
You have seen Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex.
Yes.
Okay, she's the composer for them.
Oh, okay. Good beats.
I mean, she's like this middle-aged little Japanese woman who just does these incredible soundtracks.
Bet. No, I like that. Okay, inspired.
And I'm like, I could be listening to this while people are getting hunted around or they're trying to hunt it, like trying to get it. Can you imagine that, Daniel? Oh, sweet.
No, that's good. I like that.
It would have been a completely different movie.
It would have been a different movie.
It would have been a different tonal move, the movie, but it would have been fun.
I would listen to the soundtrack. I'd probably like the soundtrack more than the movie.
Ooh, maybe.
Sometimes.
Daniel, why would someone want to watch this movie?
It's good.
Yeah, well, why? But what makes it good?
It's fun.
I agree.
It's just fun. There's nothing about this. At no point in this movie is this movie not fun.
You know it's going to be werewolves, creatures, potentially stuff like that. Like the title alone sets somewhat of an expectation for the tone, but then it gives you a more realistic thing right off the bat because you get hit with this ominous sounding quote at first. They show like the first part of it, and every time they do this, you expect something like, "Ooh, there's going to be some deep, foreboding thing." But it's listening is where love begins. Listening to ourselves and then our neighbors, Mr. Rogers. But they display it like it's like some like whom, like boom, like this is all terrifying,
full
stuff.
of dread, right? Yeah,
but it's Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and that got me when I watched it. I'm like, what is happening? This is going to be something, some kind of Nietzsche. You stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares back into you. But I'm like, no, Mr. Rogers. And then, fun thing, cuts into a song like "The Phantom Strikes Again."
Oh yeah,
like who put the tack on Sally's chair?
Yeah,
or who tied the cat's tails together? Who is doing all this mischief? And it's bum bum bum. The Phantom strikes again.
Who put the thumbtack on her chair? Nya, nya,
So.
nya.
First time watching, I'm like, what the hell is this about? Second time watching, spoilers, there's a werewolf. The werewolf is going to be the phantom of this movie, causing mischief, putting pieces in play that ruins everyone else's day, basically.
Yes.
The werewolf is going to be the shit starter in this movie.
The werewolf elevates the shit that's there. Like, and the werewolf even admits like, hey, this ended up being a perfect situation. I was able to...
The seeds of mistrust and anger at each other are already in the community.
Yeah.
They already want to kill each other.
For sure. And this isn't even a city. This isn't even a town.
The werewolf just gives them an excuse.
Lights the spark.
Yeah, this is a village. These people, they can't get away from each other. That's literally what we get in the movie, where it's the impression is that's the entire fucking town.
Okay, let's go through who's in this town. So Finn is the new arrival. He's the ranger.
Yeah, played by the fantastic and just, so adaptable Sam Richardson. Absolutely kills it in everything he does. Finn Wheeler, yes.
We've got mail courier
Cecily Moore, played by the fantastic Milena Vaintrub.
She was also a writer on Robot Chicken. The humor in this movie works, where the humor in the Cthulhu movie for me did not. This it's better written.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is subtle. These jokes, you can miss them, right? They're not being shouted at you.
Right.
Yes,
they're not being shouted into my face.
Yeah.
No, this is an actual, like, this is a film.
This is a movie.
This had a budget. This has this movie's it's not a huge cast, but it's peppered with faces you know. Like, some of these people you've seen places you might not remember where you've seen them, but you know them. Like Joaquin, part of the gay couple, played by Harvey.
Or is it Devin?
Devin. Joaquin, he's huge right now on What We Do in the Shadows, the American TV version.
Oh, right, yeah.
As Guillermo. And he's fantastic everywhere I've seen him. Janine, the hotel owner, played by Catherine Curtin.
We got Marcus and Charlotte.
Yeah, our...
No, I'm sorry. Charlotte was the girlfriend. We got Marcus and Gwen.
They're the mechanic couple kind of thing. Maybe they're a little bit burnout.
They're trailer trash.
Well, yeah, and Marcus is a pill popper. Or former pill popper.
And she's all hopped up on soda.
You gotta watch out for that.
We get the crafting lady Trish and her husband Peter. We have a new arrival, Mr. Parker, who's here to promote building a pipeline.
And he's willing to pay off everyone there to build through their land.
We have also a new arrival, Dr. Ellis, who is described as an environmentalist. She is a doctor of what?
Science.
The environment.
Earth.
She happens to be there. She's not there in relation to the pipeline.
I thought she was there for the pipeline, and she was brought there to study what the possible effects of the pipeline would be on the environment.
Unclear.
I think it was just a coincidence.
That's quite the quinky dink.
Janine's being talked to by Sam, yeah, and she mentions, like, well, that's funny, because I've got this environmentalist upstairs who I talked to about it, and she thinks that, and Sam's like, well, I've got all sorts of environmentalists and people from, like, Harvard and yada, yada, yada that, you know, will blow yours out of the water.
But we find out she's more than just, I don't know what an environmentalist is. That's not, you can't get a doctorate, you can't get a PhD in environmentalist.
Watch me.
Challenge me.
She has more lab skills. But we also have our friendly neighborhood hunter, Emerson, who's not a friendly neighbor.
He's not a neighborly person.
He doesn't start out as a neighborly person. At the beginning of the movie, we have a man who we later find out is Dave.
Dave, which was Janine's husband, who we see him get killed, but the rumor has it that he left with some young thing to some far-off tropical place.
Yeah.
And then we didn't express who Joaquin and Devin are, a rich gay couple who are yoga instructors who moved into the area because they liked the views.
Love the views.
We've got from no money, poor, not well educated. We've got lots of money. You know, we came here, we're kind of outsiders into the area.
City folk, we'll call them.
We've got everyone in between, and then we've got, you know, someone who's wanting to do something that's going to push through the environment, and we got people against it. That's setting up our town-wide tension because some people want to accept the money, some people don't, and that's why the station, the ranger station, is actually happening there because Finn Wheeler's brought in to kind of help, I don't know, keep an eye on certain things involving the pipeline deal.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
I imagine making sure whatever happens on public and private land, it's doing something. I don't know. This place is called Beaver Field? Is that right?
Sure. Look, I don't pay attention to details. You know this.
There's a werewolf in this movie.
Spoilers.
I'm going to probably have the movies you want to watch in relation to this peppered throughout the episode, but just think like a good, tight, fun cast like you'd get from, like, Clue, Murder by Death, Knives Out, Glass Onion, said it before Daniel could. Like, this is a solid cast that you're setting up for just a really fun whodunit movie. Only it's not a killer, it's...
I think the poster says it's a whodunit with teeth.
We get, what was his name, Dave?
Dave's outside, and he's behind some trees, and he's got this weird little tone on his phone, I guess, when he gets a message or something. And he's sending messages, and then he's playing with his ring finger, checking back up to the big old mansion house, and then just something is zipping through those woods, grabs him by the ankle, drags him off, and then it's 29.5 days later.
Which is important to get Ryan's 666.
You know what? This is the one movie where I did not try to put any numbers into it.
Oh.
I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Well,
I'm maturing as a person.
Oh. Did you put any mutant babies into it?
I put a lot of...
Some wolf pups.
Oh.
I've put some social contract and the benefits for opting for liberty or vigilance.
Or justice for all.
But we'll get to all... If you want to talk meaning of the themes of this and the opposing forces, we can get into that. But we're introduced to... And you do, because I've got you here. You can't get away. I've handcuffed you to the bed.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's not that deep, bro.
Well, no, it doesn't matter.
You don't think it is.
I'm going to go ahead and say I have not thought about this movie in a deep way at all, and I'm very excited to get out of the shallow end of the pool. Let's fucking go.
We're introduced to Finn, and Finn is we know he's insecure and unassertive because he's listening to his self-help tape who's telling him, be a man. Sometimes it's good to just yell. Do it. Say it. Say balls, balls, balls. Now, doesn't that feel good? Balls.
Balls.
Balls. Balls.
Balls.
Balls. Oh my god. You cannot have a better introduction to a character than that.
It tells you everything you need to know.
Screaming about balls.
Unassertive, probably insecure. He has a girlfriend, kind of.
He calls her. He leaves a message. It's very clear that she's told him he's not assertive enough, and he, says sorry. He's like, oh wait, no, he's like, call me later if you want. And he's like, wait, no, call me later.
He's trying. He's going to be staying at this mansion in Manch. He enters this place, and the first thing we hear is the cuckoo sound.
Yes.
Don't just sit there. Agree with. Okay.
Yes.
Which I thought was funny, and then watching again, it's the movie's way of saying now he's entered a crazy world. Cuckoo. This place is literally cuckoo.
Beaverfield, and it's called the Beaverfield Inn.
There you go.
Beaverfield Inn. There we go.
Not the Beaverfield Mansion.
Nope, Beaverfield Inn.
Yeah, not that, but it is a mansion.
And the first person he sees walking in is a woman sitting with her feet up on the table reading Walden and Civil Disobedience, and we only see her eyes because she's used the whole other book to cover her nose and her mouth, and she just kind of...
And then she's got her boots up in the air.
Now, Kenny, when you watched this, did you immediately know what her profession was?
Yes, so you're not all, I don't remember what the specific rules are, but you can't always accurately depict a U.S. postal carrier. I don't know why you can in some things or not, but they make her up to look like a mail carrier, and the pants she has on are the best thing you can buy with your uniform allowance as a mail carrier. Those things are so versatile. You can wear them like in the spring and the fall whenever it's going to be like cold in the morning, but get a little warmer later, so you can wear shorts under them, whip them off.
Do you think, because you say in some things they're allowed to wear the actual uniform and sometimes they have to get close to it, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a villain thing and you're not allowed to be a bad guy and be in a perfect uniform? Kind of like how bad guys aren't allowed to use Apple products.
That wouldn't surprise me.
In this, is she wearing an actual uniform, or does it look like?
So if you look at the logo, it says... Oh god, what does it say? It does not say United States Postal Service.
It says werewolves be eaten.
It says, I think, United Mail Postal Service or something like that, and it's got like a envelope on there. It's very clear she's supposed to be a United States postal carrier.
So I'm gonna go with my thing, and you're not allowed to be a bad guy.
One day we'll look it up, and it won't be relevant for anything else but this movie. But
that would have been your clue.
But also, there's so much. Look, unless she's on her lunch, I don't know. This is a town of 12 people. Like,
how much work is there?
How much supervision does she really have out here?
None.
Well, it's not even about supervision. She can get her route done in, 15 minutes?
That would have to be a rural route. Or maybe, because it's so far out of the way, that'd have to be an over-the-highway route or something. So, for one, she's probably not going to be in uniform, because they're not required to. She would just be wearing her own warm gear. She'd probably be in some, weird, souped-up Jeep with a right-hand drive, and it's going to look all beat up, because those things go through hell. And, yeah, she's paid by the day, or by the route evaluation. And if it's a highway contract route, they negotiate a contract on that, and she's an individual owner of that route.
There's a lot to this.
She wouldn't know all that.
She would not. No, we want to give that away now, though. Anyway, it's a lot where I'm just like, okay, what's up with this?
There's no ghosts in this movie.
I'm just like, okay, this is a very unbelievable setup for a mail carrier situation.
For a rom-com?
No, Barbarian's a great setup for a rom-com. The pants were on point. The shirt was on point, just a different logo. The weird overshoe things, those aren't the exact ones I've seen, but hey, they're great. Later, she has a bigger jacket on that looks pretty accurate. So they got pretty close.
Okay.
With the actual look. The fur hat, I've got the fur hat, the trapper hat. It's fantastic.
Now, how on point was the napkin drawing?
I mean, I can't draw that good.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Ryan, tell us about the napkin drawing.
Is he drawing the pipeline?
Yes, it's when Parker has drawn a little outline of what the pipeline is going to look like on a napkin because he's talking to Janine, Mrs. Sherman, about it, trying to convince her to sell because she's a holdout. And on the napkin, you got
one of the holdouts. Yeah,
you got a picture of basically a playground with swings and benches and trees just on top, and then right under that is where the pipeline's going to go. It's amazing. And then he meets the Ranger Finn.
I should point out, a swing and playground for what children?
They may have had kids in the past.
What I think has happened is, because it's snowing a lot, I think this is the off season, and I think the town has emptied a bit.
Okay.
I think there's more people who live here or that are around than we're actually seeing.
Seasonally.
It's seasonal.
Now, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Nar.
That's the time of the year that I would go to a town like that.
I think this town is going to be cold and kind of wintry a lot of the year, but this is a time when you're really going to get the storms and like the bad shit that blocks
So
you
you
in.
can't actually go do anything. That's fair.
So you wouldn't be able to leave or get out easily or something like that. That's the impression I was getting.
I would love that.
Yeah, that makes me even want to go there even more. Snow me in.
Oh my god, yes.
The owner of the Axe Bar.
The X-Den.
The Axe Den, yeah. The owner of the Axe Den isn't there. Those people aren't there.
Well,
Okay, fair enough. There could be a reason for that.
There could be.
There could be. I assumed they were off somewhere else, but now that you mentioned that, they might just have been eaten.
I think they got eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got eaten.
Look, I'm just saying.
Because Werewolf has keys.
A man who doesn't want to
Yeah.
conquer nature doesn't understand how brutal it is, okay?
Yeah, he does say that to the Ranger. And what's the Ranger says something like,
It would be a shame to spoil all this natural beauty.
and then the guy
And Parker just goes in right at him.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, I didn't mean like, it'd be a shame if you spoiled all this natural beauty. I was just saying, in general. Like it came off as menacing, and then he realized that, and he's like, oh no, that's not like, oh shit.
Miss Sherman gets turned into a pack mule as she's carrying all his luggage up this
She's banging off the wall.
Both hands on the suitcases. She's got his backpack on. Stuff is hanging off the backpack. She's knocking up against the walls. Beautiful.
She reminded me of that one creature in Labyrinth.
Oh!
The garbage lady
yeah.
who's got everything you
Yeah.
want. Like, don't you want a doll?
Yeah, this is not an insult. I love this lady.
I'm sorry, Frank Oz.
That's Yoda.
Cecily, the mail carrier, starts spreading that town gossip real fast. She cannot wait to start talking about everyone else's shit.
Yeah. So, Janine is taking Finn up to find his room, and it's brought to his attention that there is some complaints being brought up by the scientists there.
The scientist has sent a letter
To the Rangers.
Finn, even though
Yeah.
they are at the same place and just down the hall.
Well, he wasn't there yet. I think it was just a general message to the Rangers, like, hey, there's a person potentially poaching.
What was the address on the letter then?
So, here's the thing.
Talk to me.
Janine gets pulled back because there's some other guests there. Cecily calls up, say, hey, there's more guests. And she's like, do you want me to make anything? And Janine's like, oh, hell no. Like,
What guests?
No, I'll make him some sandwiches. So she's all like,
There are no other guests.
she gets pumped. Look, don't even worry about it. She gets pumped to go make some sandwiches, because she offers to make sandwiches a fucking lot. Then Cecily comes up there. She's like, you're my freaking hero. Da-da-da-da. And she's like, hey, will you show him? And then the mail lady, hands him the letter from the scientist. So it could be the mail lady not being great at her job and not actually sending it out through the plant and being like, oh, here you are. I'll just give you this. Because, look, people will mail stuff to their neighbors. Don't ask me why. They just do.
Okay. Cease and desist requests.
It was probably just addressed to the Rangers, because that's who's responsible for dealing with that. She just decided to hand it to him.
Sure. Also, once we are introduced to Dr. Ellis, it's pretty clear she's not a people person.
No.
Not really happy around others, just wants to be left alone, do her own thing. This gives Finn and Cecily a reason to go out together because it's a complaint made against Emerson, our friendly neighborhood trapper. And so why not go out? And then Finn just starts going on about how great snowshoes are. They're the best.
And Cecily's like, oh, you'll fit in here great. You're kind of weird as well.
Yeah, everything here is a little questionable. The weather, the people, everything.
Yep. And then, so as soon as they get outside, that's when she's like...
Our favorite power couple.
Yeah, you want to hear some sweet Beaversfield goss? And he's like, okay. So, rumor has it Janine's husband ran off with some young lady to some tropical area, and then the camera is looking back at the sweet manch, and like the window curtains pulled back, and then it shuts real quick.
Yeah.
Like she's watching, like she knows.
But that was probably Dr. Ellis.
Do we get Joaquin and Devin first?
No, we get our power couple, I think.
Okay, we get you think Marcus and Gwen first? Doesn't matter.
I think, yeah.
We roll up on Gwen, and she's yelling at the Cecily, the mail lady. She's like, "Hey, yo, you got my starter and my something. I don't remember what else.
Something
that she ordered a while ago.
Yeah, but on the 3rd, by my algebra, that's 3 weeks." And Cecily's like, "No, I don't, but I can look. I'll keep an eye out for you." And they're like, "Okay." And then they start to leave, and then Marcus rolls up, and Cecily's like, "No, hold on. You're gonna want to see this.
You want to watch this. You want to see this."
Oh god, the dialogue in this is so great. Gwen's like, "Marcus, what time is it?"
Sorry, hon.
"Sorry, hun, it's not a time."
Nar.
You high? Like, "No, babe. Driving and drugs is not okay. You embarrass me in front of the strange people. Hey, what's your name?" Ranger Finn Wheeler." "Huh? Ranger Finn Wheeler. Oh, it's Ranger Finn here." "Yeah, okay."
They're great. This is what we want all our relationships to be, right?
And then she's coming at him. She's holding a big wrench like it's a penis, charging at him. And he's
They're doing a little show.
Yeah, he's like, she's had too much soda. And then she's like presenting it, and he's like, she's real proud of it.
Good stuff.
Do we pass Joaquin and Devin before we get to
maybe so we'll get to Joaquin Devin
Pete?
So that we see them through the glass window. They're doing some yoga, stretching him out. Joaquin's talking to Cecily, and then Devin just sees him and like just put the mail on the table and just shuts the curtains real fast.
Yeah,
Cecily's
Joaquin's real friendly. Devin,
we're friends.
We all know each other. It's fine.
Then we meet Crafty Trish, who's the owner of Appleton Farm. Oh my god. This tree ornament angel.
The white snowman for him.
Out of nowhere.
Looks just like you.
Looks just like, a paler version of me. Then we meet Tickly Fingers Peter.
He's got a case of Roman fingers, for sure. He's
Yes.
clearly made Cecily uncomfortable before, because she's already prepared to like dodge his touches and stuff.
Salutes the ranger with the wrong hand.
Yeah, he salutes
Never
with
the left.
hand.
Never the left.
My kind of guy.
That's not what he meant.
Okay, so not what he meant. So people misinterpreting things already. Bam, there you go. You're welcome.
What did he mean then?
He meant like the left,
Like politically
facing
left.
political party.
Oh.
That's why you're getting that because when Trish is like, they find out that their signs have got the spray
Like,
paint
damn
are knocked down.
Antifa.
Like, Antifa. And then she
Bash your
jokes
heads
about Peter's like, "Oh, it's her officer. She's the one who did it. Lock her
Yeah,
up.
arrest
Lock her
her.
up."
Yeah, lock me up.
Oh,
You
that's so
you're not
funny.
a cop, are you? No, yeah, lock me up.
No, you're not.
You're
You're
not a
not.
cop. You're not. Oh god, so delightful. And then
Cecily is still spreading the hot gossip because she's
Yes.
like Peter boned Gwen in the sugaring room. I don't know what that means, but
it took me 6 times watching it and then turning on the subtitles to actually understand what she said there.
okay.
For whatever reason, my ears could not process that bit of dialogue. It was the weirdest fucking thing. And eventually it's like, I don't care anymore. I rewound it, turned on the
So
subtitles.
he goes for a hug and she dodges it.
No, he's going for like a tickle
Oh.
at that moment, and then she's dodging it.
She's like, no thanks.
Finn immediately like intervenes a little bit to introduce himself with his hand. Finn is a great guy. He's a nice guy. Then we're introduced to, now try to say this 3 times fast, Peter's phallic fire totem.
Peter's phallic fire totem. Peter's phallic fire totem. Peter's phallic fire totem. Oh, fucked up on the last one.
Oh, there it goes.
A little, what is it, like the JFK Eternal Flame.
It's a giant phallic eternal flame with 2 balls holding all the propane or whatever.
It's got a wide base, a thin pillar on top of the wide base, and then the 2 big propane tanks on the side.
Protein tanks?
Propane with a nice tapered tip in the flames, and they're just straight up like, yep, that's his phallic display for the Midland gas.
Absolutely. So good.
Isn't that a waste
Yeah,
of gas?
He's
they're
got
gonna
a
gas on
a
there, doesn't
message and he's trying to sell it. What better way than to have some phallic fire totem help spread your message 24/7. We get some more banter with the characters. Cecily's asking about his family. She's saying like she's got a huge family, like she's the last of 7 kids, so she always had to fight with her older ones to get anything.
Her sister and her were born in the same year, so if you wanted the toy, steal it from someone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe they call that Irish twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we are introduced to Emerson, who looks like he just walked off the set of The Revenant.
Oh, yeah, he's Grizzly Adams. So Cecily's like, hey, can you take this package since we're going to go see him anyway? Because she's like, I don't really want to go over there. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And he starts walking and he gets a phone call from his lady, and it's kind of breaking up a little bit, but he's distracted, and he walks right by the sign that says, like, trespassers will be shot. And she's like, hey, did you see this? Yeah, okay, never mind. And she just waits there. Look, I don't know if there was a barcode on that package, but first off, you can't have someone else deliver the mail for you.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Plus, I didn't see her scan it.
Well, she wouldn't know that. Or she wouldn't care.
Well, she wants him to go meet the crazy guy.
Without her.
Okay, I have seen a whole bunch of "I'm gonna shoot you" signs. You are now within range. Have you guys ever seen signs like this on someone's property?
Oh, yes.
I went driving around one time. I'm just intentionally getting lost, right? Just to see scenery. And then I pull down a dirt road that's not clearly a resident or anything. And then the first sign I see is "Trespassers will be shot," but I keep going. And then I see "You are now within range." I keep going. And then the next sign I see, which is a handwritten one, which is "We kill people out here." And that's when I turned around. Because I'm like,
they don't make that sign in bulk.
That one they don't sell at Walmart.
I like to think they seen you and they were like, well, quick, we got to make another sign real quick. And they fucking wrote it up, ran out their hammer.
He's still coming.
Even though I know you have absolutely no right to shoot me, but
doesn't mean they won't.
don't mean those militia people won't. Now she takes him to the axe den because, he needs to get some food in his belly because of that traumatic event.
Yeah, Emerson points a gun at him and threatens him, like, get off my porch. I don't recognize your authority or your laws here. Like, this is my private property. I can do what I want.
One might call him a sovereign citizen.
Yeah. He's got great currency.
He does. He trades in pelts.
That damn right. He was not a neighborly person.
He was not a neighborly person. Not Finn's kind of person at all. We get to the axe den, and what happens at the axe den?
We have a little, like, bonding moment. We find out, the axe den people are on vacation or just out while the snow's in. They let her have a key so she can store their packages and stuff there. And so they're going to have a little bonding moment, get to know each other. She's back there putting some stuff away. He's putting on the sign by Ace of Base on the jukebox, which, it's a banger. Everyone knows that.
I remember really liking this song because it's catchy.
It is catchy.
It's a really catchy, upbeat song. If you go read the lyrics to it, it's about leaving a person in the relationship to go achieve your own happiness.
Opened up my eyes and I saw the sign.
Life is demanding without understanding. And that's the key lyric we hear when it's played with her. And she's coming out, she's all jiggly and so happy, and it's very, for Finn's perspective, a very romanticized version of her as she comes out to bring, what's the name of that drink?
Kombucha, and it's horrible. I had a kombucha before it was big at a Hy-Vee randomly, and it tasted like gasoline and ass water. And I couldn't do it.
And it explodes like it does in this movie.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever put anything worse in my mouth.
Oh.
And I've eaten roasted squid out of a can.
Well, my friend, you gotta get a little more freaky,
There's nobody freaker than me, man. Dude, I just watched this movie. This movie's a good time.
Yeah,
okay?
I hear you. I also just watched this movie.
Yeah, I just put it on, and I have a good time. They say the lines. I laugh.
This movie is even greater than it was before.
How could there be more?
She is taking the, her theme song is basically saying life is, nasty, brutish, and short.
But we're going to make it seem chipper and cheery.
They have a heart-to-heart. Now, this is where I got a question for you guys, all right? Because she does a gesture in here when he's listing off, he's explaining he's been transferred, talking about his Charlotte, and she says, okay, you're not broken up. He says, no. She has a closed fist.
But you're not together.
But you're not living together, the thumb. You're not seeing each other, the pointer finger. You're barely talking to each other, the middle finger. And you're keeping your options open. And she uses her pinky. Are you giving him the shocker?
I absolutely thought that's how I read that.
You always got to be ready for a surprise shocker.
She's being playful.
She is just fucking with him. But it's over his
Yeah.
No, it's pure missionary for Finn.
Of course.
With the lights off, and he doesn't take his socks off.
How badly do you guys want to go axe throwing?
Okay, so I've done it, and it's fun.
I want to throw some axes.
Boy Scout camp. I won the competition
at
the summer camp.
I want to throw them at Boy Scouts.
But this was last year, Kenny.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time. How more people don't die, I have no idea, because you see them ricocheting like crazy. Yeah, just don't be an idiot. It's an axe.
That's basically what she kind of tells him as she's teaching him how to do this axe throwing. And then she throws it, immediately lands it, and he says, "Here we go." He says, "I'm being hustled."
Yeah.
And she says, "You are."
I'm a shark.
I'm a shark, and this is a long con. Welcome to your worst nightmare. Now she's doing it all playfully.
And she does the thing that mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah, but now remember back to that opening song.
Nya, nya, nya. The band is
She is telling him and telling us, if we just knew what she was doing, yeah, I'm fucking with all of you.
There are parts where certain suspects will straight up say, "I'm not your guy." And it's like, yeah, even though everything else is, I think Emerson has a point where he says, "Yeah, I'm not your man," or something like that.
It's time for speculation on what could have been, all right?
It's my favorite.
Finn and her are Finn is now talking about, I've been to Yellowstone. I've been to Yosemite. And she's like, "Ooh, I've never been to Yellowstone," or wherever, talking about it. So they're their faces are getting closer, closer, closer. Either he or she goes in for a kiss. They're both into it until his phone goes off. And instead of kissing her, his head diverts because he's going to take this call from the girlfriend, right?
Because he's still so hung up on that. He's simping. He's a simp.
I don't think that.
You don't think he would qualify as a simp?
I don't think that's the correct usage of simp.
What's a simp? Pretend I've never been on the internet and have no idea what's happened in the past 10 years of American culture. What's a simp?
So, for example, a simp would be someone
Okay.
who's hot for like a YouTuber and donates money to
But
them.
isn't that just Patreon?
No, because like you can enjoy the content. Like, for example, I would enjoy our content but not want to have sex with you.
Bullshit.
Whereas a simp would only donate because he wants to bone down. And he thinks that doing this will lead to that.
The Urban Dictionary definition of a simp
Let's see how wrong I am.
is it is when a male is overly submissive to a female and gains nothing from it.
Yeah.
So he's a simp.
But does he expect to gain something from it under the simp definition?
So you're saying he's a simp to the girlfriend?
Yes. Yeah. He is desperate for her attention and he is gaining nothing from it.
It's a little different because they're in a relationship.
It might have been just a completely used relation. Like he was getting something out of it and that he got to claim they're in a relationship. But who knows how like it could have been a purely like
I would say it's simp adjacent.
He's an adjunct simp.
He's an adjunct simp.
I'm just trying to appeal to our younger audience and use all the hip lingo because I want them to think this podcast is bussin'.
Okay, if we want to do that, then I would say that Cicely is coming at him with a lot of riz.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, dripping with Riz.
She is.
Yeah, riz all over the place.
He doesn't kiss her. If he had, does this movie play out differently?
No.
You don't think so? She's willing to just play with her food?
Yeah, absolutely I do. She might actually like him. She still goes through with it. They don't go into it, but who knows? She's probably more driven by that hunger. Because she even explains, like, yeah, I was in a punk band. We didn't break up. I ate them. She's not above eating anyone.
It goes just back to her mischief. She's just trying to have fun with this.
Yeah, like, look, doesn't mean she doesn't potentially want, like, a random shag or something, if she'd go that far. It could just be another, like, if she kisses him, she probably knows, oh, yeah, he's gonna be fully locked into me.
But he doesn't kiss her, and she gets all mad. And he's like, "Serious? I think your girlfriend's right. You should grow a pair." And she storms out into the darkness. Then, we forgot that Trish has a dog named...
Queequeg.
Chauncey?
Queequeg, Chaunty, Chucky, Cha-cha-cha.
It's,
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Oh, Chachi. It's Chachi.
Chachi.
The little yippy dog named Chachi.
Played by the, you guys probably are familiar with this dog actor, Ritz.
Ritz was in Legally Blonde?
Probably. Shit.
I don't know.
No,
I just made that up.
That was like 20 years before that dog be dead, dog. Dog?
Yeah.
Hey,
this
dog,
is Chachi's
dog.
only performance.
Damn, dog. That was stupid, dog.
It says right there, Ritz is known for Werewolves Within. Yep, that's what.
Well, it
I'm
happens.
like, there's Ritz.
Well, Ritz is the first one to die.
No.
Dave is.
Oh, no, Chachki is the first one to die.
No.
So it's Chachi.
First one to
Beginning
die
of
right
the
now.
Honestly.
First one to die since 10 minutes have gone by. How about
First
that?
one to die in the town is probably the Axton people.
Probably.
True that.
First one to die in the movie
So, yeah.
is Dave.
Chachki, Trish lets Chachi go out on a
Chachi.
leash. I don't know. What's the dog's real name?
Queequeg.
Ritz, like the cracker.
Ritz? Okay, that's easier for me to say. So he lets Ritz go out, and it's a scene both Daniel and I like because he's on the leash or the fishing line if you want to do your Jaws.
Me.
I do. I remember what you said about Barbarian and the measuring tape.
Oh, yeah.
You said he liked it in that, too.
And that's because he told me he liked it. And then we bonded over the fact that we didn't see the monster because it's like Jaws.
Yeah, you're right. You do fucking know me.
Oh, God.
You. But this is very important, right, Daniel? This little yippy dog getting eaten? Because this brings all the boys to the yard, brings them all up to the Beaverfield Inn.
And his collar is not recovered, and we find it later in a sussy spot.
Because this is early in the morning.
In the morning.
When Trisha is walking Chachi, and she's screaming to high heaven. Devin is out for his 4 a.m. run because he's, getting ready for a marathon, obviously. So they come to the inn, because that's kind of the hub of the town, really, and is talking about what just happened. Like, oh, something ate Chachi, and I heard her screaming bloody murder, and...
Monster ate my baby!
And someone's like, a baby died?
A real baby died? Because oh my God, but if it's just your dog, I mean, it's a... Yeah, Keem, I love you. I'm with you, man.
Okay, we're all in the manch. Chachi's dog.
All characters in the manch. All right, and this is where we first meet Dr. Ellis, Dr. Jane Ellis. All right. Now, I immediately thought she was the werewolf.
Okay.
Who did I think was the werewolf?
I honestly don't think I thought anything at all the first time I watched this.
No thoughts.
No thoughts?
It's a very pure way of living.
That's very good. Because they're like, she's an environmentalist. So I'm like, all right, so you spend a lot of time outside. You really like the environment. Incredibly social awkward. We're not getting a lot of screen time with you. You're the werewolf.
Or Emerson.
True. Emerson is already a wolf because he's got all the wolf pelts and the wolf head on him. So he's... I know it's not him.
I think it was Marcus, and I was proven right.
Marcus did get there.
Maybe I'm half.
Marcus hobby lobbied his way into becoming a werewolf.
The first time I watched this, like I said, it was already hitting so many good points at this point. I didn't care who the werewolf's going to be, because at this point, it would have taken a lot for this movie to disappoint me, because I'm having a good time at this. There's already been so many great lines. Like, I was excited to show anyone this movie after, like, probably the first 15 minutes. As soon as he was yelling balls in the car.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, I'm going on a journey here. I'm going to sit back, put me on the roller coaster, hands off the wheel. Let's do it.
So Finn's going to go out and investigate, going down to the town. We find out that, like, multiple generators have been slashed. They're not working. That's why the power's out.
Gwen and Marcus show up outside. They're, like, the last ones to get there, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, power's out, and we can't get out because the roads are all storm-fucked.
The storm-fucked, yeah.
And they're like, what? And they're like, storm-fucked. And that's when they get out.
I thought they had to use the bathroom. I thought they were saying their shitter was broken because of the storm. It was an emergency, and they needed to come in to use the bathroom.
Nope, the roads are
that's not what they were saying.
Yeah. So Finn uses binoculars and he's able to see. I love how it's like video game, like where he can see all the entrances to the town from that one spot.
Yes.
So yeah, he can see that on one part there's been an avalanche blocking the road. On another part there's a power pole down shooting out sparks blocking another way. So yeah, they cannot leave. They are trapped.
You could just move that.
How? He doesn't have the tools.
He's picking up.
With what? A power
your
pole?
arms.
What?
If the whole town got together, you don't think they could move that?
They could move it, but that's not...
That's live wires.
The avalanche is what's blocking.
Well, the avalanche is on one side.
Yeah.
Pole is on the other.
I thought there was like one way in and one way out.
That'd be a dumb design.
The pole might be... Well, they're a mountain town. They might just be on the mountain. The pole might just be indicating that's the power down.
Yeah.
Could be right.
Okay. I'll allow it.
But the important thing is, it's storm fucked.
It's storm fucked. Yeah. I say
I'm not going to let us gloss over any great lines in this. Okay?
Yeah.
Do my best. Yeah, so the generators were all slashed.
Because the storm did that, right?
Well, now there's an animal. Yeah. And then Finn comes back after seeing that, and that's when he finds Dave.
So he's looking at one of the generators at the Beaverfield Inn, and then he walks by one of those under the porch little barriers things. And for some reason, sticking out of the ice is like this little collar that I thought was going to be the dog. Chachi, but no, he pulls it out and it's a full-on arm hand. And I'm like, oh no! Ranger, you look like you've just seen a corpse.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
The roads are effed. Also, there's a dead body. Something to note, the scene when Ranger Finn comes in and then tells them basically what's happening in the town and that there's a body outside. Cecily is not in the scene, and neither is Dr. Ellis.
So Ryan is trying to figure out who done it.
I was doing a clue who done it. Yeah.
That's fair.
And then they're talking like the only way down the mountain is on a snowplow. Gwen has the stuff, but she needed the starter fuel injector that she ordered in order to get that running. She doesn't have it. And so then we're having what can we do? There's obviously a killer animal. It's just ravaging the town. What do we do? Oh, yeah. Let's get Emerson to kill it. And then, all right, this is where the movie could have lost me because everyone's like, kill it. And Finn says, oh, I was going to say trap it. And I'm like, don't you go Croc Ranger on me, Finn.
Anti-poacher.
Don't you do this to me, Finn. But he doesn't, so it's okay. And who's the best to go kill this thing? Who's the hunter
Emerson.
of beasts?
Emerson.
Yeah. Emerson.
Yeah, let's go ask Emerson. Look, guys, we can trust Emerson. He'll do it. Look, I'm sure he wants to be a part of this town.
Doesn't he want to be a part of the community? Doesn't he want to be a good neighbor? I'm sure he does. So Finn, no one's going to go out there with him because he puts up, I'm going to shoot you signs. But he gets Cecily to go with him. The whole time he's trying to apologize for not macking on her. And she says,
get it.
It's fine.
You like snowshoes.
Fine, you're not over your ex-girlfriend. It's fine. But Finn, maybe she's right. Maybe you do need to just man up.
I'm over. You were a fantastic lady. Da 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 da.
He's acting like a real soy boy beta cuck.
These are words. You've strung them together. I'm going to let our 5 listeners write us. Write us in our email and tell us, did what Daniel say, does that mean something to anyone?
Daniel's dabbing right now, listeners.
I know what dabbing is. You can't see it. I just did it. You can't see it, but I just did it. So as they're walking up to Emerson, we cut back to the mansion, and we're just got cameras just stuck on Trish. And we're hearing Parker in the background trying to convince Joaquin and Devin to sell, but they're like, nah, we moved up here. We ain't having it. And we just see like the look of madness start creeping into her eyes as she's just knitting this thing with her little needles.
She wants to open her art store. Yeah. And Joaquin and Devin, they have money. We moved up here for the views. You can't buy us.
And this whole time, when we look at Dr. Ellis, she's all acting sus to me.
She's acting like a real sussy baka.
Did you not think that when you watched this the first time?
She's a little shifty. But at this point, she has what? She has the dead body to examine?
She has a dead body, and she has
the fur on it.
Some fur on the part of the leash that came back, I think.
Right, so she's kind of like, she's interested in what's going on, but she doesn't really know. Like, nothing's adding up yet.
It's frustrating her, I think, yeah.
Of course, Janine is, like, in shambles because they found her dead husband.
I don't know, would it be better to think that he's run off or that he's dead?
That he's dead?
Dead, because that means he didn't desert you. Oh, well, I think she gets the worst of both scenarios at that point, because she thinks he's left her, but then he also turns up dead.
I think he was gonna leave.
Oh, he was.
Like, I think the younger lady is a real thing, and that's who he was secreting away on the phone with.
Buddy?
What's up? Is this?
Pretty sure it was Cecily.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought that, now I don't know if Cecily was sending him messages to get him outside so that she could take him out there. When I first watched the other characters, when it comes up, they're talking about how Janine told them. Isn't it suspicious that, Janine said her husband ran off with another woman, and yet he's dead and frozen underneath her porch?
He actually wanted to do the pipeline, but Janine didn't.
2 things. 1, did Janine actually say that, or was that just hot gossip from Cecily?
Probably goss.
But Janine isn't, she hears this, but she's not actually fighting it, which makes me also think that maybe because Cecily has Dave's phone, and so Cecily sent the message about leaving her because she had let herself go.
Right, because she's fanning the flames. All these little fires, she's keeping them burning.
Nya, nya, nya. The phantom strikes again.
If we're going to go the Mischief Phantom route, then Cecily lures Dave out, gets him, grabs the phone, and then is sending messages to Janine saying, I'm leaving you for this younger woman because you've let yourself go, and I'm going to go off to this other country.
Who can relate? Woo!
Inside Emerson's cabin is a lot cleaner than I expected it to be.
Yeah, just because he's a trapper doesn't mean he doesn't like to live comfortably.
Just because he's a sweaty, blood-covered trapper doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy the nice things, like having a random violin in a window for some reason.
He's got layers. You assumed he was just one thing. He can be more.
People can be more.
He could become a good neighbor. He really could. Okay, so Finn tries to convince him with, well, how about you just help us out? Be a good neighbor, like Mr. Rogers. And I thought the movie was going to lose me here, because I thought Emerson was going to take a big old shit on Mr. Rogers. But instead, he just says, who?
Who? And they're both trying to like explain it. So they're in there. Cecily comes across Chachi's collar.
Fun thing, because you can pause. While Emerson is on the couch and they're talking to him, there's a couple scenes of the mantle, and then there's a shot of the mantle when Emerson gets up and Cecily gets near it. On both those shots, the collar is not there.
Yeah.
And then once you do see it, it would be an obvious thing you could have seen in the shot if it had been there before she put it there.
Which is always fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, that's just great. And you gotta look for those clues sometimes. It really reminds me, the best case of that was, Ryan, remember the first time we went and watched Paranormal Activity?
I remember it was the midnight showing. You had taken some NyQuil. You were sick, but you still came out like a champ, I believe.
Because we thought it was the last showing. We looked at the theater, and there was nothing for the next couple days. We're like, okay, that's out. And I'm like, I feel like shit. And I took a full fucking dose of NyQuil. And it was a midnight show, and I'm fighting it. And this is the first one of these. It's a big hit. We're excited for it. And if you've watched these movies, you know they're basically the entire movie, especially the first one, is like an I Spy. You're looking for anything. And I get the appeal of drugs sometimes. So this is the closest I got to just a full like drug experience. I am loopy. I'm out of it. I'm just like, oh God, what was that? Did that move? Like, oh, my eyes would start to close and I'd see something. I'd freak out and then the sound would happen. And I'm like, oh God. So that honed me. And that allows me to perfect my craft. Yeah, so now that I'm not on NyQuil...
Now that you're no longer on meth, you can appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah. Ever since we had that experience, I think I've been a lot better at just picking up the subtle things.
That's weird.
No, it's how you have to watch movies now. Okay.
No, but that experience is what honed his skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his origin story, Daniel.
Yeah, I was born of this. And look, that's part of the reason I think that
you're like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle if instead it had been Mutant News, it was NyQuil.
It was NyQuil, yeah. Tripping on cold medicine.
Tripping on cold medicine at the midnight showing.
Who can relate?
That might be why I remember that movie more fondly than maybe it actually is. I like that movie.
No, it's good. It holds up.
Second movie
is good. Okay. I think most of them. Some of them are but the whole thing's fun.
Speaking of references that I don't know if anyone ever gets.
Stay a while in Mud Crab.
There's one of them. The other one is when you cut back to the Beaverfield Inn, and they're all going suspect. So basically you start taking sides. You got the people who are for the pipeline, people against the pipeline, people for the pipeline start talking shit, trying to cast shade on the people not. And then Marcus comes in and he says, oh yeah, we've got some known unknowns and some unknown unknowns. Now.
No. We've got some... No, he said we've got some unknown knowns and some known unknowns.
Some unknown knowns? Okay.
Yeah, get it straight.
I'm sorry. So Donald Rumsfeld, the defense secretary, Donald Rumsfeld, was giving a press conference talking about basically terrorism. And he got a lot of shit for making this statement, but it's actually pretty accurate. He's saying the problem with these things that might not have happened or will happen is, we've got known unknowns and some unknown unknowns. But that's just for me.
I mean, it might have been for like two more people.
Nah, I doubt it.
Either way, it's funny.
I'm the only. I'm like, it's even more funny to me.
It's funnier knowing
the way Mark
because and if you're telling me what his quote was, then he fucked up the quote, and that's even funnier.
Yeah, we got some known unknowns and some.
We got some unknown. We got some unknown knowns.
Unknown knowns. That's known unknowns. No. Now
funnier.
I'm all messed up. But the way I said it the first time when I corrected you was on point. Cause I might have to do a ranking of my favorite lines in the movie, but that's up there.
I might have to do a ranking of my favorite Rumsfeld quotes, but it's up there.
That's one of them.
That's up there.
Cecily finds the collar on the mantle, points it out to Finn, and then they're all like, oh shit. Oh, we gotta get out of here.
Fumbling with the door, like trying to get the latch, and he's walking over, and he reaches above them, and he undoes the latch for them. And like, don't bother yourself. Yeah, we could have got the latch. Like, don't worry about it.
They get back to Beaverfield Inn, and Cecily's immediately like, Emerson killed Chomsky.
Oh, wait. Time out.
Ah.
I said Noam Chomsky. I should say Chotsky. You are correct.
I forgot to really point out the fact that, yeah, he mentioned, like, Mr. Rogers. He really fluffed up Emerson, though, saying everyone was like, hey, go to Emerson, when he was the one touting it, not the rest of the town. It's like, Emerson could save the day, making it sound like the town already loved him and wanted him to be a part of it. So that's what spurns Emerson to later show up. I didn't want that to seem very out of character later.
Well, I thought it was because of the Mr. Rogers, and then Emerson goes out of his way to watch Mr. Rogers, and that's what caused Emerson to...
I don't think... My take was he just lied about not knowing who Mr. Rogers was. You think he went out of his way to watch it? Because I want to know how.
He might have lied. I don't know how he would have watched it, you're right. So I guess, he probably knew, but he's like, I don't fucking know.
They go back to the sick match, and they're like, hey, Emerson did it.
And we all got to stay safe. What's the best way to stay safe? We're all going to have a good old-fashioned sleepover. With guns!
With guns!
Yeah, does anyone here have a gun?
And they all pull out guns.
And fucking Trish pulls out this little one, and she's like pointing it at everybody. Like,
it's just a little one. It's just a little one. It's just a little one.
Yeah.
She's just waving it just all around the place. Just a
like,
little one.
Hey, Janine, we can all stay here, right? She's like, we don't have to double up. And Finn's like, that's probably okay, right, Cecily? Calm down. Finn says, we should probably have a gun in every room. And everyone's like, oh, you're not taking my gun, blah, blah, blah. And then Pete's like, well, my gun is going with me to sleep in my room with my wife, unless someone else would like me to go in their room with my gun.
Cecily?
No.
Before this, we should mention that Peter's fingers don't just go a Roman at Cecily. They also went and grabbed Gwen's ass, and which she yells at.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's more of they hooked up in the
sugaring room.
That's a euphemism for something. I just don't know what it is.
I'm on it. Don't worry about it.
They all spread out. They go into their rooms. They lock the doors. Finn is sleeping on the couch downstairs. Is that right? He's not in a room.
They've boarded no, they haven't boarded things up. They've just locked things. And did he stay downstairs? I think he did. Yeah, I think you're right.
There's a shadow that kind of passes past him that then goes up the stair. Yeah, so he was downstairs. And something I didn't catch the first time I watched this is, so everyone's locked their door, but then we're inside Trish and Peter's room, and the doorknob just turns, and then the door opens. Oh, someone has had to have unlocked the door. So that's someone with keys, someone with access. And that would have narrowed down your list of possible people to like Janine or Cecily.
Well, why would Cecily have keys to the whole mansion?
Because she's been there cleaning rooms. She's living there rent-free, taking care of the place, which she says at the when she first meets Finn. She says, I figured I'd just get a room here, and then eventually I'd find my own place downtown, but one day turned into 2 days, turned into a week, turned into 3 weeks. And then Janine's like, live here rent-free and just for taking up the place and the cool manj? Sign me up.
Okay, yeah, I didn't remember the trade-off there. I thought it was just for, like, her company. So, okay, fair enough.
That is part of it, but she's also helping clean up the place. So that would at least let her know where the keys are.
No, that's fair.
I was just thinking that maybe the door was just unlocked.
Like they forgot to lock it? I mean...
Or because he had planned on sneaking out, and it'd be less noise to just open the door. Either way, it doesn't matter, but yeah.
If Finn's in the downstairs, who was Cecily with? Was she by herself, or was she with Janine?
I thought Cecily was also downstairs.
Oh, no, Cecily was in a lot of places. Get some action in the hallway?
We get the door opening, and then what I thought was happening, because we see movement on Peter's side, so what I thought was happening is the werewolf had come in and was just ripping apart Trish, but Peter didn't know what happened, and the bed was moving from the werewolf ripping her apart, because we only saw him.
He's moving his hips.
Yeah, the bed's moving. I hear you, bud.
But he gets pulled out, and we see Trish is fine, and Gwen comes out, takes some shots, and whatever was there, the werewolf has now vanished. Peter has been shot. Also, the werewolf has bitten off the fingers on one of his hands.
And it was pointed out earlier, whenever the butt touching happened, Gwen said, I'll cut that hand off.
Yeah. It's at this point, oh, okay. The werewolf is either Dr. Ellis, Gwen, or Cecily.
Okay.
In that scenario, how would it have been Gwen? Because she's the one firing the shots off.
Well, you also got to think, how did Cecily make it? Well, how did Cecily make it work, though, too?
Cecily took all her clothes off.
Yeah, and then got dressed again and moved around.
Well, this is a question of, like, who's the last to show up? Because they all peek out.
Cecily's
like
one of the
rooms.
last ones to show up.
Right, but it's impressive to get dressed that quick.
You're right, Daniel. I shouldn't have thought Gwen. I should have thought Marcus.
Okay, yeah.
Because wandering fingers on my lady, looked like I was okay with it. Not.
Hey, Marcus is a wolf.
Ow!
Part-time wolf.
I'll cut you. Oh, was it? Did
I just can't wait till we get
you,
to that.
going into this movie the first time you watched it, what kind of did you have an idea of what kind of werewolf it was going to be? I came in thinking Hound of Hell on 4 legs.
No, I did not think that.
Okay, and that's why I had a hard time figuring out who it could have been, because that meant full body transformation as a wolf beast.
I was thinking dog soldiers, but there's no reason really for me to be thinking that. I think that's just where I was.
I was not thinking Teen Wolf.
I was thinking, like, I think the Wolves Within game and stuff like that, they show just like a big hulking wolf, a bipedal wolf.
Do they?
Okay.
Not quite Wolfman. It's more dog soldier, so that's why I was thinking more like that. And it was a small down version of that. I mean, did we even really get full transformation during that fight?
We didn't see anything.
No, but I mean, like in the later fight when we actually
The later one, it's Teen Wolf is basically what it is.
I think you probably got what the budget allowed.
Universal Wolfman. Like,
yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Where I was expecting a wolf on all 4s.
Team Jacob.
Oh man, how sick would it have been if it was the wolves from the quarry and the fucking skin exploded off?
That game is dope.
We should do a playthrough of that with Ryan.
You're gonna love it. Don't worry about it.
I love it.
So Pete's hand is gone.
So you know what that means? There's a werewolf within.
It's in the house.
It's one of you. It's one of us.
Yeah, so Dr. Ellis is...
Not Dr. Loomis, but Dr. Ellis.
Dr. Ellis is still... like, she's sent off a DNA test. She's waiting on the results, but she's heavily drinking at this point. And the stuff comes back inconclusive, but it's...
Not inconclusive, but impossible.
Impossible. There's no match. It's human DNA
It's human and
overlined
wolf.
with wolf DNA.
Yeah, and at this point, she locks her door, and they try to go talk to her, and as soon as they approach the door...
Fires. Yeah, come here and you will get shot at again.
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 It's a lycanthrope, and it's one of you.
And like a what?
And then Parker's all on it, werewolf.
Yeah, didn't one of them say a wolf earlier?
Marcus said, it's a what? No, he goes out and says, it's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And I think Devin looks at him
stupid.
like, no, that's not where I was going with this.
Yeah, so Marcus knew all along.
Marcus knew.
There's another door into the room there, so they're trying to break into that, which seems like they could have just let her be and talked to her through the door. I don't really...
So Parker
this
either
bit.
breaks his way into her room or shoots his way in.
I think there's 2 gunshots.
Parker tries the other door to get in. It's locked. He can't do it.
Uh-huh.
Then he shoots through it.
But are there 2 gunshots
like
in
No
the
Country
room?
for Old Men. So he gets in, and then there's 2 gunshots, and then he opens the door for everyone else to come in.
And he says that she killed herself, but 2 gunshots on the inside there?
She didn't kill herself.
Do you think he killed her to...
I mean, raise your hand if you think he shot her.
I think he would shoot her.
Epstein didn't hang himself.
They didn't examine it. Nobody questioned it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't question it.
We're not shown the body.
But they have bigger problems.
They do have bigger
We
problems.
got monsters, Daddy.
They got monsters.
I mean, if it's going from the bottom of her chin out the top of her head, then
That's where he put the gun.
could have been. I imagine if he didn't shoot her, then she shoots one time at him. He's not deterred. He comes closer, and then she offs herself.
Yeah, she could have missed. She's very drunk.
She didn't kill herself.
I'm with you. I do find it suspicious that the environmentalist who is to stop the pipeline kills herself in the room with the armed guy who wants the pipeline to go through.
Yeah.
This is just that Phantom playing its little mischief tricks on us, Daniel.
Phantom strikes again.
Nya, nya, nya. The phantom strikes again.
Well, she social engineered the situation to put those 2 in that situation.
They all
right?
did it to themselves.
As she points out later, I didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah,
They all started killing each other.
They kill more of each other than she does.
100%
She killed
they do.
one person
Dave.
that we see. Dave.
And she bit a hand off.
She only kills one person. The town takes care of the rest.
Yeah, barely did
Yeah.
anything.
And now she's got food on ice for all winter.
So this leads us back downstairs. We get a standoff because Joaquin says, "Don't say Mexican, baby. Just say standoff."
Yeah, it's a Mexican standoff.
And then they do now they do the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Put all your guns.
They do the Clue thing of taking all your weapons, locking them in a door, and then throwing the keys outside.
Those guns never came back into play.
They
I
did
don't
not.
understand why you would do that, because there's still a werewolf.
There's still one of you that's going to rip the others to shreds.
But he's not going to do it with a gun.
At this
so
point,
the danger of everyone having a gun is, well, I get they're going to shoot each other. So actually,
I guess we should say not everyone did that. If you look, Trish doesn't put her gun there, I don't think.
Oh, her little gun, yeah.
Her little gun, she keeps it.
But actually, it would be a safer thing to have everyone throw their gun out in the long run, because they
they're all likely
would
to
have shot
shoot
each
themselves.
other.
But here's the thing. At this point, are we all convinced that the werewolf is one of the people in the house? Like, if you're in that situation, are you convinced?
Yes.
That
Yes.
it's one of this group. We're all saying it here?
Yes.
So at this point, the safety is not necessarily in numbers. I say you each go isolate yourselves. If there's one person you do trust and you want to take that risk, sure. You all just go lock yourselves in your rooms. You can keep your guns.
So it can
If
pick you off one by one? No. The play is
no.
put everyone in the one room.
You can do that too, but eventually people are going to start falling asleep or shooting each other. No. You back yourself into your rooms.
Alone.
There's no...
Where no one else can see you.
Or with one other person.
So no one knows what's happened to you.
You have your gun. If anyone comes messing, trying to get in your door, you shoot.
How long is that feasible? Like, how long are we doing this for?
Until morning. I'm thinking werewolves. I'm thinking they can only wolf out at night. I'm probably
Sure.
wrong in this situation, but if I'm thinking werewolf.
I think it was daylight during that first attack in the beginning of the movie.
No.
Hard to tell, because they do some weird shots of...
Day for night.
Yeah, where it's supposed to, but it's... Can we talk about how huge that moon is?
Big moon. But they're on a mountain. So
you didn't notice how gigantic the moon in the sky... It's huge.
Is it possible that, in fact,
and it's a full moon
on Earth, they're on a different planet, and that's a different moon?
No.
It's Colorado moon.
All right, that was my...
And the reason it's so bright
tunnel
outside is because a lot more of the moonlight is hitting the snow. Because that moon is gigantic. Daniel, I was going to say you are Finn and Kenny was the rest of the town. Because you want people to stay together. And that's what Finn tries to get them to do after he gets wild up. Saying, let's come together. Let's get through this together. And Kenny is Gwen who says, no, fuck that shit. Everyone go off by yourself.
100%. I don't trust any of these people, and I feel like I can protect myself if I know shit's coming. Like I said, I think I only gotta last till morning. I lock myself in, and I just wait. And if something tries to get in there, I feel like I like my odds better to try to shoot whatever the heck this thing is coming at me.
You ain't got
versus
silver
staying.
bullets, dog.
Oh, if it's a werewolf, I'm gonna know how to take care of that. This is Kenny here. This isn't Gwen, okay?
Okay.
I'm melting some shit down.
In his room. He's got
And
all the fine jewelry out. Yeah,
It
turns out it was all
real
pewter.
silver.
None of it was
It's fucking
silver.
fake. Yeah,
Pewter.
so the wolf's just like, what the fuck? But no, I like my odds better than that, because if I'm in this house with a bunch of these crazy people, the odds are they're just going to kill me, and that's what happens.
They're going to go bodies on you.
This is true, but that's because they keep interacting with each other outside there. Gwen hunts down fucking Devin and Joaquin.
Trish.
Yeah, Trish, I mean.
If it's me,
Gwen runs down Marcus.
I'm selling the land to the oil company. Me personally.
And the thing is, are they even selling the land, or they're just selling the rights to have the pipes there? I don't even think they have to move.
Yeah, based on that napkin drawing, I think everything's just going to be fine. It just all goes under, and we're going to build some swing sets and maybe some slides for the kids we never see.
The danger
but
of
there's the environmental
impact. Dakota pipeline shit, right?
It's a gas pipeline, like a natural gas pipeline.
It
could blow up and have a continuous fire burning under the earth, and eventually it's a silent hill.
Yep.
Oh, now
that's what you want.
Centralia.
That's what you want.
That's what you. That's kind of what you want. That's what we want.
That's best case scenario.
That's what I want.
Best case
I'm
scenario.
excited for the new one.
We make our new Silent Hill.
But we get through the part where like, oh, and your husband, like, what about you? You said you were going to cut his hand off earlier, so we're throwing accusations again. And he's over there like, don't say hand.
Uh-huh.
And then like, well, what if Janine murdered her husband? And she's over there like, I didn't do that. And they're like, yeah, I bet it's Janine. And she's like, I'm not one of those. Like, that's the delivery. Like, I'm not a lycanthrope. I'm not one of those. And it's just a beautiful, like, she does like the claw hands. And Cecily's like comforting her, and Guillermo brings up he's from Argentina, and there they believe the seventh
born is a werewolf, so they kill them.
They kill them, and they're like, you don't still do that, do you? Gwen's like, yeah, my dad beat me, and they're all like, what? It's like, oh, but yeah, he told me about.
Dad
What
used
was
to beat
it,
the shit out of me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, told me about the natives used to run out the
wolves or something like that, yeah.
And then was she the one who said Wendigo, or did that go back to
Maybe Marcus. No, someone was talking about a Wendigo.
And every time they're bringing up something, Sam seems to be somewhat of an expert on all the creatures. Like, what's a Wendigo? And he's like,
because he's a hunter.
It's a mythical beast that has a hunger for human flesh that can never be satisfied. They're always hungry. They're just like, oh, what the fuck? And I think Joaquin's like, look at you, Mr. Hunter Man, or something like that. And then someone's like, well, what about your creep of a husband over there talking to Pete? And Pete's like laughing. He's like, I'm not a creep. maybe I'm a werewolf.
Okay, who thought
maybe you're a werewolf?
Who thought he was going to change into a werewolf?
That would have been an epic moment.
I thought he was going to change.
I thought he was going to change too because he got bit, right?
And he was going all
Yeah.
Turns out he's just a big old creeper.
Do you remember the scene in Dog Soldiers when it's the lady finally admits like she's
life's a bitch and so am I? Yeah.
So am I.
He's the biggest bitch of them all.
The music changes and her transformation starts. Like, I was hoping for that right then and there from Pete. Like, that would have been fucking gorgeous. But I still like what they did instead, because this isn't that movie.
No.
But that would have been a great... Could you imagine someone straight up turning into a wolf in front of all those people in that locked room, no guns or anything anymore? The chaos?
Fucking The Thing.
Oh. Like in The Thing, yeah, for sure. And that's when they decide that, maybe we'd be better off on our own, and they all fucking split off their own ways, and the only people left in the hotel, or the inn, is Finn, Cecily, and Janine, who start boarding up their windows. We see Sam goes to the back of his truck, and he opens it, and it's all kitted out. He's got weapons out the ass.
He's some kind of big game hunter or something. Cut back to the inn, and there's a noise coming from Sam Parker's room. And so up come Finn, out pops Cecily, and then out comes Janine, who scares the shit out of everyone. And they're all, ah! And they're just basically like, Jesus, Janine, go back to your room.
I'm not one of those!
And then they go searching Parker's room, and the window's open, and there's papers and stuff. And we find a map with a bunch of red X's on them.
Uh-huh.
We find a printed out newspaper article about mauled hikers or campers in a place that Finn said he had just been.
Right.
And then Finn finds a knife wrapped in a cloth, and he holds it out to Cecily, and they smell it, and it says, smells like gas, smells like gasoline.
Right. Now, Cecily's a little concerned, though, because he's holding it, like, he points the knife right at her, and it's kind of in a almost threatening way, and she's, like, hesitant, and then he's like, smell this, and she's like, oh.
She's acting like she's suspicious of Finn at that particular moment. But why would she do that?
She's just playing innocent. Like,
yeah,
she needs to act like she doesn't know who the wolf is. So if someone pointed a knife at you and you were supposed to be normal, you're going to be hesitant. That's my take there.
Cool. Do you think that is Sam Parker's knife, or is that a knife that Cecily planted?
She planted it,
okay.
But I don't know. But whether it's his knife or not, she obviously planted it there with the diesel to frame him, because I think it was claw marks that was in all the Jennies.
Yes. If my fan fiction, it's Sam's knife, and Sam has been tracking this thing, and Sam is a little off.
Could be.
That's how I read that, and that's she was both pretending to be scared of the knife and actually scared of the knife.
Shit, I don't want to cut myself on this shit.
Yeah, no, I could buy a whole Sam Parker, like, monster hunter subplot thing. Yeah, I'd buy it.
Yeah. Ooh,
but also, we could also say, like, yeah, he was able to instantly spit out information about all those creatures. Well, so can we.
True.
And I'm always strapping my silver blades wherever I go, dog.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe he's just.
But I would say he's more equipped to hunt people.
That's another. Yeah, a little. Well, I guess that crossbow could be used on
dangerous game.
Black Bear. I'm not sure. So she didn't plant the map, and she didn't plant the newspaper article, right? Sam just had those?
I think I think he probably had all that stuff, and it was very easy to set it up to build a case to make it look like he was doing these things.
Sure.
Because the X's on the map correlated to...
So what I think happened is he is actually tracking all these random maulings, random killings, random attacks, because when she sees that map and she makes that conclusion, she looks super jazzed about it. Like, holy shit, I have a Dr. Loomis. I have an Ahab.
Yeah, Sure.
That's how I'm going to take it.
I'm okay with it. We'll never know one way or the other, but that's, yeah. He's clearly interested in all these things.
There's
and who
clearly
knows,
more to him than we get to see.
He might think it's a bear or something hunting those things, and he's trying to track it while he's also there trying to sell the pipeline.
And that'd be a cool hunt to do,
hunt.
this thing that's going around fucking people up.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, he got tired of killing people, so...
Allegedly.
I mean, look, he went to this place that had a really great menu. He didn't get to eat the people. He's very disappointed.
Well, he went on this croc hunt in Hampshire.
But some very skilled anti-poacher, though, stopped him with all his 6 skills and stole his wife.
I was going to say tried to hunt Danny DeVito, but Danny DeVito...
What?
Rambo, and so he took him out.
Wait.
Because they drew first blood.
But Danny...
So at the beginning, we get Trish saying she wants to hit the rich couple on the head because they're not going to sell their property, and it's really frustrating her. Devin and Yakim are walking through the apple tree farm, and someone's doing flashlights at them, and I'm like, what the hell is this? They get separated, and then Devin gets knocked on the head and falls down. He's like, what the hell? And Trish is like, yeah, I know, hun. I know.
Yeah, I know, hun.
Yeah,
I know, hun.
yeah, man.
I know. And she pulls out like a little sap top thing. This goes in, the good liquid comes out. Oh, yeah. I want my craft store, eh? And he just jams it right into his side of his throat. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Trish. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trish goes there. She's off the deep end.
She has lost it. She's having a moment.
Yeah.
And poor Pete.
Pete
Poor
just
Pete's
dies
back at
unceremoniously
home.
in frame,
Yeah.
off frame. It's because we established he's got his fingers bitten off and he's been shot in the chest. I mean, he just dies at some point, but
That's what he deserves.
Sam goes into full-on werewolf hunting mode, comes back into the inn, but Cecily and Finn, get out, run away, and Parker's like, I bet you wonder why I've got all this stuff on.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, there was a sale. There was a sale at Menards, and the spirit took me. So that happens, they get scared, so they get into Trish's house. And, all right, Katie, I know you want to talk about it. Once they get into Trish's house, it's not Freddy Krueger we find, but who is it?
Marcus is in there. He's got duct tape all around his hand, and he's got knives duct tape on his fingers. And they're like, Marcus, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, are you the werewolf? Yeah, maybe I'm the werewolf. Maybe I'm part-time werewolf. Maybe I dress up like a werewolf and I go steal things and they blame it on the werewolf. I don't know. Are you the wolf? Are you the wolf? He points the hand, it's all in his mush mouth, garbled nonsense, and it's just so fucking perfect. And then Cecily's like, God, it'd be so disappointing if you were the werewolf at this point. And Finn's like, yeah. Oh. Okay, Marcus is the best character. I'm just telling you.
And like all wolves, you got to be careful of trucks.
Yep.
Gotta be careful of trucks.
Biggest injury when you're on the road, you don't want to get hit by a car.
Yeah. Also, he slashes Finn's shirt. It was this good shirt.
Hey.
It's a good shirt.
Yeah, he gets ran over by Gwen.
His Bonnie to his Clyde. Bonnie comes and just backs him over, pancakes him, and tells him, hurry up, get out of the house. And then, surprise moment for me, bam, her head explodes, blood hits the mirror, she falls down into the seat, and Trisha's like, gotcha, home wrecker, something like that.
This movie amps up the fucking violence right at the end.
People are just, now it's dying.
And the thing is, the whole time it's still got this light tone. We're doing all this stuff, but the movie has not changed its tone. This is just happening in this, happy-go-lucky town.
Yeah, so Cecily, Finn, Yakim is with them at this point. They all get just okay, go back to the house. And Trish is all like, that's my house. That's supposed to be my house. Oh, door's locked. Okay, I'm going to go this way. Oh, no, I know another way. I'm going to go that way.
Now, Ryan, you might not have noticed that is a reference to Halloween when young Michael is trying to get into the house to go up and murder his sister.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, but it's pretty similar because he walks to the front of the house and then he goes around, looks at the window, goes around the back of the house. It totally could be.
I mean, he does do that. He walks through the house. I know this is going to sound weird coming from me, but that's a bit of a stretch. But
I know, I totally agree with that.
I can tell by his face he made that up.
Don't you look at my face.
So we got Marcus with the werewolf claw.
Right?
Gwyn backs over Marcus. Trish shoots Gwyn. Yakim, pretty much sure that Trish has killed his husband. just whips a poker right across her head, probably snapping her neck. And we're like, oh, she could be fine. No, a shining crown of this movie. Trish falls face first into a lit furnace. Her head catches fire and starts burning. And I start clapping. Yeah. They come out of the house. Parker's all like, I'm gonna kill you all. One of you's a goddamn werewolf. Yakeem takes Cecily hostage saying, I gotta kill you, but I love you because you're the seventh born. They're all crying.
Parker, you said it earlier, Finn.
Parker shoots a little, what does he shoot? Like a bolt?
Yeah, it's a crossbow bolt.
Crossbow bolt. Parker shoots a bolt, hits Yakeem right in the stomach. Yakeem goes down. Parker grabs Cecily. Finn is hiding behind a tire. Finn comes out behind the tire trying to convince Sam Parker, he's like, are any of us a werewolf? Parker's like, I don't know. Better safe than sorry. Yakeem shoots the phallic penis. Everything explodes. Everything is fire. Everything is amazing.
Oh, God, I forget what his one-liner was, though. And the whole thing is kind of
I think it's your pipeline sucks.
Yeah. What's Sam's point in shooting Joaquin and freeing Cecily only so he can grab her himself?
I think it's because he's going to kill everybody because one of them is a werewolf.
So why didn't he let...
I think he missed. I kind of feel like he missed Finn.
See, because I think he thought Finn was the wolf.
Finn.
I think he was aiming at Finn because it hits, grazes Finn's arm when it comes through.
Right, and I think he thought if he held Cecily hostage, Finn liked Cecily.
Finn would come out and you could shoot Finn.
Okay, that was my take. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page there. And then, Joaquin, shoots the fucking thing, blows him up.
Blows up his penis.
Beautiful. Blows up his penis. Gas is dangerous.
All right, so then you're left with Finn, Emerson, who I haven't seen in a while, Miss Sherman, Janine, and we're left with Cecily. So at this point, when you're watching this, were you still just watching it, or were you trying to speculate? All right, who is it going to be?
Who's actually left? It's been so long since I watched it the first time, so I can't swear to anything. I'm probably still just watching at this point because what just happened was amazing.
Yeah. Movie escalated to a point where, any thoughts of any detective work I might have been doing before is out the window because I'm just amazed that it keeps going and going and going.
It was like 30 Days a Night Massacre, but fun.
I would say that's pretty fun.
Well, I mean, that is fun, but that's in a more dark... Like I said, this is still... It's nighttime stuff. They managed to make this killing still light and, we're laughing at everyone dying, even though these were, kind of grisly deaths still.
Because we didn't see Dr. Ellis's body. They didn't show it to us. And I thought if she is a werewolf, then shooting herself wouldn't matter. That possibly it was going to come out that she was the wolf, she was the werewolf, but she figured out that, but in the movie, she figures out that she's a werewolf.
She didn't know. Yeah, we've done that.
And trying to keep people away, right? And then, but now she's going to come back because I'm still trying to find a reason for Cecily not to be the werewolf because I want that relationship to work.
Oh my God!
I want
it's Chrissy all over again.
I wanna be friends with the monsters.
I think you want to be more than friends with the monsters.
I want the monsters to take me to dinner, and we'll give them just nice, hot love and relations.
You were asking what a simp was. It's you.
But I'm getting something out of it.
He thinks.
You hope.
He hopes.
This is
Honestly,
true.
though, at this point, you could argue that Pete could still potentially be an additional werewolf.
Yeah.
We found him dead on the thing, but who's to say that the werewolf curse didn't revive him at some point?
Right. But I'm looking for who's going to be the originator. Who's number one?
Well, it sounds like the werewolf in this is something you're born into.
Oh, yeah. But we don't know that.
I just said it, though.
We don't know that. We don't know that's how real werewolves operate.
Well.
Okay.
Different cultures, right? Kind of like how a different vampire from a different culture, you got to kill it a different way, right?
Look, have I told you about an aswang?
No.
It's like a Filipino vampire.
They wouldn't have those.
They do.
Isn't that an island?
Yeah.
How'd they get there?
They flew.
Nar.
Vampires come from the earth, Daniel. How do you not know this? It's like a naturally occurring element everywhere.
Yeah.
Can I mine
Don't you know
that?
the first vampire
Can my
was,
prospector character mine that?
Earth, wind, fire, water, vampire. It's a thing.
It's the fifth element.
Yeah.
The fifth element.
Don't you know
was
it's
it was the fifth
along.
element. It was vampires the whole time.
Yeah, Dracula was just Judas.
Sorry, who?
And that was the curse. Dracula was
Okay.
just Judas. And, he betrayed Jesus and got cursed with the mark of Cain.
And who the fuck is Cain?
Abel's brother.
Cain is Abel's brother, and Cain was actually the original
Oh, you're making
vampire.
shit up. Understood.
No, this is all in the Book of Nod.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
At the Axton, everyone. So after everything has exploded, everyone else is dead. So Cecily takes Finn. They go back to our happy bar, the Axton. Finn has been, during a fight with Sam, he's been stabbed in the gut. And so he's bleeding out a little bit. And then he's having this sweet moment with Cecily where it's like, Cecily's like, don't die. That's really going to traumatize me, okay? And then she says she's going to go off to find some, like, I don't know, maybe duct tape or something to, patch him up. But then Finn apparently is doing just fine because he gets back up and starts walking around.
Well, he's got a little bit of padding there, so
a little bit.
The knife may not, go all the way into an organ or something. He could be fine. Probably.
That's why you need a certain percentage of body fat on your body, cushion your organ.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm at that certain percentage. Some would say I've gone beyond.
He can take a knife to the gut.
I could take a short sword, probably. Stab me. We'll find out.
So, and then this movie gives us the reveal.
Doesn't she start? Oh God, how does it initiate? Does he figure it out?
He finds the room with all the packages.
He finds the packages.
Right.
He sees, because he's hearing the sound. He's hearing that like weird twerping sound that we heard at the very beginning of the film from Dave's phone. So so he's following that, which leads him to the storage room with the packages. He sees the package with Gwen's starter on it. Goes into the room, see Dave's cell phone, finds Dave's mail courier badge.
Yeah.
So. Oh no. Ryan doesn't get to make out with the monster. I don't like this.
Well, hold on.
You still could.
If you roll a 20 on the right check here.
On a charisma check?
Yeah.
Or animal handling, perhaps?
Look,
animal handling.
Just don't answer the phone when you're about to kiss her and your wife calls. That's all you gotta do, buddy.
That's all you gotta do. He comes out, and she's all there kind of looking a little, dare I say, sheepish.
Aww.
A little
wolf,
bit.
Sheepish.
Yeah. And he's all like, it's you, isn't it? She's like, yeah.
She said,
it should have been pretty obvious. Like, didn't I seem a little bit too perfect?
Too good to be true.
Like, I'm interested in this book. I, like all this stuff, da-da-da. Like, too good to be true. And he's like, no.
Women who are turned on by your Yellowstone talk, reading.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Reading those books, drinking kombucha.
That's true.
That's fantasy.
She's being mean here.
Oh, she is being very mean there. You almost ruined all my plans with your kumbaya bullshit, and you're just so damn nice. And then he gets upset.
There's nothing wrong with being nice.
He likes being nice. He likes
like
being nice
being
to
nice.
people. He likes having people be nice to each other, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And he actually throws out a curse, and then he corrects himself and says, I forget what it was, shit and shoot or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like, he still can't stop.
But then we find out, look, it's life is demanding without understanding. In a dog-eat-dog world, you can be you or you can be me. And then she transforms into Teen Wolf.
Yeah. She'd already explained, like, look, I barely had to do anything. This town was ready to tear itself apart. It's a perfect situation for me. Well, couldn't you go hunt things? I tried. It's exhausting.
It's hard. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Were you even really in a punk band? Yeah, but we didn't break up. You ate him. Yeah, I ate him. Yeah, she's Teen Wolf, and he's chucking axes at her.
Which I thought were going to be hitting her, but none of he misses all of his shots.
He gets one good one,
into
and
the
he's
wall.
like,
Oh,
all right. Like it sticks.
Yeah, but then she's like, oh shit, comes at him.
And he shoves the rack at her, and then she tackles him.
Vaults over. Some of the snowshoes on the wall have been broken and fallen down, and so he grabs a splintered piece of wood and just jabs it in her neck. Snowshoe for the win.
Right, and we think it's over then.
Okay, and now we're going to get where I have problems, okay?
Okay, so she gets the upper hand again.
Yes.
Yes.
He has stabbed her. I think she takes it out, gets back up, and he says something like, "Are you kidding me?" or something like that. And then Emerson comes and hits her in the back of the head with a shovel.
Yeah.
Okay. Deus Ex Machina number 1.
Yeah.
Second problem. He knocks her out. She gets back up again while the two are commiserating over, like, Emerson came back because he wants to be a good neighbor, like,
Mr.
Roger. And so we see the fuzzy shot of her in the background as she's getting up, and she's coming closer, and then she gets shot with a bolt, goes down. Okay, Deus Ex Machina number 2. Jeanette, Miss Sherman, has shown up to save the day. I don't like it.
You don't like it? You
I don't like
up?
that. I don't like the people who were not already in the scene just coming in to save the day.
I think it makes sense for Emerson to show up, especially if he's had this epiphany about being neighborly. So he's probably been going around looking for everybody and then tracked them there.
My thoughts are he does have to track them there. Same with Janine.
I don't think Janine would be able to track them there.
There's only so many places you can go in that town.
There's only so many places that aren't on fire at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the explosion draws both of them out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think gets them to come out. Well, obviously, Janine had to have stumbled onto the explosion massacre because she's got the crossbow.
But you don't think Wolf Lady smelt them coming?
Well, she's probably all hyped up. She got stabbed in the neck, all amped up there, so no.
We actually don't see her using wolf abilities that much, right? Yeah? Those are the problems with Habit. Now, the message, this movie has two conflicting points of view, or philosophies for the movie. We get Cecily's, which is life is dog eat dog, survival, rip people apart. But she's also a loner because of it. We have Finn, who is saying, you don't have to do that. We can sign the social contract, be a community, and look out for each other. And Emerson and Janine coming back is the formation of the community taking care of its own. So I understand why they're there, but I think they could have been... I don't like them just popping out of nowhere at the very end to come save the day. I would have preferred them to be there already, getting knocked out in the fight, and then Finn having to decapitate Cecily or something like that. He's the one who is gaining his assertiveness, the one that is responsible for bringing Cecily down.
No, I agree. That'd be more of a, poetic
Also,
finish.
Make your own damn sandwich.
Make your own damn sandwich. But Janine makes the best sandwiches.
She does.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take. That'd be another scene that would be better. But I think you wanna get the last two characters back into the movie somehow. They could have came earlier, and it could have been getting the shit kicked out of them. But I guess it's still a werewolf against 3 people without guns and stuff could still be probably okay. So yeah, I can't fault you for that.
They could have been there, and then they lay Finn down on a chair, and then Cecily tells them, okay, I know there's resources here and here, and then they go out to go get them or something like that to get them back out of the scene. And that's when Finn could have the discovery. You could have had all that too. That the only part I don't like about it is we haven't seen those two characters for a while, and then they just pop in. They weren't established already with us.
And then Janine's like, I'm not going with Childs. I'm going with you.
Well, I'm not going with Childs.
Yeah. No, I get the complaint there. I'd be okay with that ending too.
And the scale of complaints, this is really minor because this is a terrific movie.
It's fantastic. It will be, as I said earlier, I will watch this anytime I'm getting that itch for something like a Clue or a Murder by Death, where I want a fun, whimsical whodunit, a tight cast, just running through all this nonsensical stuff where it's every time you watch it, you're laughing, you're saying those same lines over and over again. I mean, how many times have you watched fucking Clue?
Countless.
Every day for a whole summer.
Yeah, I can believe it. And it was probably fantastic every time.
You notice something every time.
This movie, to me, is in that echelon of all time, just fun little genre-adjacent comedies. Because, I mean, you can argue it's not really going for horror. It's a comedy.
Yes.
With horror elements, but to me that's still, just horror. Yeah, no, it's an all-time great. It's fantastic. I will be interested in anything this director touches, and he has actually had some other bangers that I've watched very recently. He's been having some things pop up on Shudder where he's either been acting in it or directing, but 2 recent ones he just did were A Wounded Fawn, which is an absolute trip of a movie. That is... Whew, that's one of those slightly out there ones. You might enjoy that, right? And then Blood Relatives, I need to watch. I'm hearing good reviews of. It's a vampire one, so I'm definitely interested because Werewolves was good with him. He's acting in a vampire one. So the guy has a touch for the genre, whether he's acting or directing or anything. So Josh Rubin, he gets the gold stamp for me for right now. Because this movie, you don't make a movie like this, and this is not a one-hit wonder. You can't make something this good and just suck at everything else. Also, did you notice that Parker whipped out a hidden wrist knife?
Yeah, he's
little
Assassin's
I saw that.
Creed there.
Ubisoft.
Put you 2 on the spot. You have to pick a baby. You ready? We have Werewolves Within, or you have Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Werewolves.
I'm still watching Werewolves, yeah.
I'm in your camp because I think Werewolves had, just for the more foreshadowing and hidden meaning in the dialogue that was going on, makes it a little bit more enjoyable than Bodies, Bodies.
But
He's going to talk about Lee Pace.
Lee Pace. is not in Werewolves. So if you watch Werewolves, you're getting 0 Lee Pace.
But you have a printer, and so you can print out Lee Pace.
I do not have a printer.
But
That's on the floor right there behind you.
Don't worry about that.
you're just one print job away from having a paper doll anytime you want.
Oh my god, you could print it out in chunks and make a big life-size Lee Pace.
Oh
And
my
then
God,
he
if you were to
watches-
get me one of
he
those,
watches
like,
it with
big,
you.
You know how we got the
big Tessa Thompson?
The big Tessa Thompson. If you could get me a big
And-
Lee Pace.
Ryan, for me though, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a great first watch, and it's an okay future watch. But once the gimmick's revealed, once everything's happened there,
Yeah.
the magic is less good. Like, there's not enough one-liners and stuff from that to me really enjoy. The dialogue's okay. This is just, there's so many lines, and the characters are so fucking ridiculous. And you cannot look at Marcus and Gwen every time they are on camera and not die fucking laughing. Marcus is played by George Basil, and I don't know if I know him from anything else, but he is an absolute fucking gem in this. Looks like he's in a lot of little shorts and TV series that I don't think I've seen hit any. Oh, he was in an episode of Silicon Valley, so I've probably seen him there. But he's no real major starring things that I see anywhere. That man needs more help. Oh, he was in some College Humor stuff, and that's actually Josh Ruman, the director, is a College Humor alum.
Okay.
So some of those people actually made something with their lives.
We forgot to mention it. Marcus and Gwen. There's the scene where they all start accusing each other at the end, and a couple of people are yelling, people are standing. Gwen is on the couch, and when it's all really getting amped up, she's just doing her best shredding on an air guitar, just like flicking her tongue out like this is the most metal thing ever. Like, she's so fucking happy. And I'm like, I love this. This is best. This is great.
Yeah, this is good. You get great, fun, interesting characters. You trap them all in a single location. Give them something fun to do. It's going to be a banger of a movie every time. Make them fight. Yeah, I love this movie. IMDb rating.
10.
You guys want to take a guess?
10 out of 10.
Not your own personal.
7.2.
I'm going to say a 6.
It's a 6 on the dot.
Wow.
Which is absolutely just insulting.
The reason I didn't go higher is because it's fun and not pretentious.
They
Exactly.
hate fun.
A damn good time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a part-time wolf. Maybe you're a wolf.
Maybe I'm a part-time good time. Maybe you're a long con good time. I don't know.
Would you like to see this do a Knives Out, Glass Onion situation where Finn just pops up in another town and gets put with a bunch of other
Have
quirky
him do a
characters?
Friday 13th.
Go make your own damn sandwich.
Anyone want to throw out like one good werewolf movie rec? I got dibs on Dog Soldiers, so fuck off. Just one.
American Werewolf in London.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say what was that Marvel thing that just came out?
Mobius?
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, Morbius. I would recommend Morbius. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, Werewolf by
For
Night.
your
Are you making
wonderful
fun of me, Daniel?
Recommendation.
I don't
of
know.
A shitty movie that doesn't even have a werewolf in it. It's a vampire.
And he doesn't say it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. He says it.
Well, that is.
Doesn't say
Look,
that.
I haven't seen it, but I can tell you now that's a waste of an opportunity if he doesn't say it's Mighty Morphin Morbid time. If he doesn't
I
do
can
that,
tell you that movie
Waste
wasn't
of a
even so
movie.
bad. It was good. It was just not interesting.
What was the name of the actual thing I was saying?
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night. Very good.
Silver Bullet.
It was good. I said one, you son of a bitch.
Said one, you son of a bitch.
I thought you were making fun of me because I only said one.
No,
No,
I was
I
making
said to
fun of
say
you
one.
because you tried to say Morbius.
We could do werewolf movies all night.
I can't. The Howling. Maybe I can.
Oh,
Wolf
I
of
would.
Red
Can
Hollow,
I recommend?
American
Can I
Werewolf in
recommend?
Paris.
Can I? Guys,
What was that? What was the
Can I recommend a
that werewolf
game?
movie? Oh no, shut up. What was the werewolf movie we saw with Grandma?
Guys.
That was a Twilight rip.
Twilight.
Oh, because Grandma hated Twilight.
Yeah, we saw this. It was like, okay, this is werewolf, but
Are you
it's
talking about Wolves?
Wolves is very good.
so it's the one where she's turning into a werewolf because her dad was a werewolf, but her dad isn't really her dad, and her sister wasn't. Oh, we find out that the mom was having an affair because when the werewolf dad goes to approach her sister, he smells her. She can't telepathically talk to her, so she's not a werewolf. So he rips her apart in frustration.
what the fuck are you talking about?
We saw this with Grandma
Not in theaters.
in theaters, dog.
Bullshit. When?
Well, if I had all the answers, I wouldn't be asking you.
The Quarry
Yeah,
video
Ooh,
game.
what-
the hell a good game.
Okay, you keep mentioning the quarry. What's the quarry?
Do you remember Until Dawn?
Yeah.
It's like that.
This is their most like direct sequel type thing to that one. They've got the offshoot that's very similar.
And they've got the offshoots, which are much lower budget.
God, it was Red Riding Hood.
Oh, that movie. We did see that in theaters. I was okay with the extended cut when it came out, but the theatrical release was kind of meh.
The one we saw together.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, if you guys have watched the new Game of Thrones show, right?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, they showed House of the Dragon is great. They showed the dragon trainer people, right? And I'm thinking, and they showed where they keep the dragons and the baby dragons and all that. Now I'm like, swap that. No dragons. These are crocs now. And the
House of the Crocs.
House of the Crocs. Goblins are training the crocs. Dracarys, except crocodile don't breathe fire. Crocodile. Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen anything on that one, but
it's good. Hey folks, Kenny here, looking to get you amped up for what's coming up next. Now, I know what you're thinking. Boy, you guys have just done like 4 like just absolute straightforward bangers in a row. Like, what's up with that? That's not really your style. You guys whipped out Deadstream, Prey, The Menu, Werewolves Within. How could they keep that streak alive? Should they keep that streak alive? Well, we're not going to, because we need to get back to our weird root. And we're doing that by giving you a little gem that Ryan dug up for us called Chompy and the Girls. That's right, Chompy and the Girls. Maybe you've heard of it, you probably haven't, but you need to watch it. And you're going to thank us for having you watch it. You're going to tell your friends about Chompy. Your friends are going to watch it. They're probably not going to be your friends anymore after you made them watch Chompy, but that's okay. You didn't need those friends. Because if you had to tell them about it, they're not listening to the podcast already, which means they didn't listen to you when you told them that they needed to listen to the podcast. I mean, surely you told them to do what you did, which is, like and subscribe and follow us everywhere. Surely a real friend would have listened to you. We're here. We're your real friends. We're your family now. And if your family wants to be your family again, then they need to start listening too. It's a harsh world now, okay? That's just all it is. So get mama, get papa, grab the kiddos, fire up the old big screen, put on Chompy and the Girls, and prepare yourself for a feast.
Well, I think we had a howling good time. Ow!
I'm Howling Mad Murphy.
Chopper Dave. Okay, let's get the howl out of here. Yeah, I've had a great time, but it wasn't a long time, and I don't know where I'm going with this because I'm always your horrible host, Kenny.
I've been Daniel.
I'm part-time Ryan.
And make your own damn sandwich.
Hold on. I feel like y'all have dropped the energy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Daniel.
You want to do it again?
Okay, here's the thing. We want to do it again. Here's the problem. Daniel said he had a bit, and now I'm expecting a bit.
Can I tell you something about that bit? That was the bit.
That was the bit. I'm Daniel.
Nya, nya, nya. The phantom strikes again.
Let's take 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh.
I gotta think of a
Just
thing.
take 1 minute.
Saying?
Okay, fellas, let's get the howl out of here. As always, I'm your part-time werewolf, Kenny.
I'm your co-host without a bit, Daniel.
I think you should always have guns at your sleepover, Ryan.
Ryan wants to fuck a werewolf.
.com.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.